Hello guys, this is Pouria Sadeghi here with another episode of High Achievers, and I'm here today with Shahriar Abedi, one of my great friends. He's a mortgage broker. He has been doing this for the past 5-6 years.
Yeah.
I would say he's one of the top in the industry. He has extensive knowledge of mortgage, construction, real estate, and I would call him the real estate man. I wanted to have him on the show because, first of all, I wanted to ask him a few questions about the market. Also, I wanted to see how he's been able to find the balance between work and his life. And maybe we will ask him some personal questions too. Shahriar, please go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, my name is Shahriar Abedi. As Pouria said it, I've been in the mortgage industry for the past 5-6 years or so. I have done a bunch of real estate investment too since I got to this country. I think back in 2014 was my first real estate investment. And since then, I've been trying to buy properties, renovate them, then sell them, or buy it, renovate, and refinance in some cases.
That's
and yeah, I'm here to answer any questions that you might
So where
have.
do you find the most profit in real estate? Do you find it in buying, selling, or building, or renovating, or where do you think you can find the most profit?
Well, building, I don't think there's any money in it because the amount of cash you need for building a house nowadays is very high, right? It's not as
So you
it
don't
used
think
to be.
there's money, profit in it at all, or you think in some cases?
Okay, well, in some cases, not in Vancouver, let's say, but the areas around Vancouver, let's say Nanaimo, Victoria, right? Because the cost of land is fairly cheap, construction is still $250, $300 per square foot, right? And if you have a construction loan, which most of people have right now, it's around prime plus one, prime plus 1.5, and prime is at 6.7 right now. So you're paying 8 to 8.2% just as interest, right?
That's right.
So considering all those costs with the time you spend in doing the construction, with the headache, you will make money, but that money won't be substantial enough.
So you
for
think it's not worth it right now because of the construction costs, because of the interest rates, and also because the price of homes have not caught up yet to the actual cost of building them? It's not profitable right now, but I think this changes as soon as the price of homes go up. Construction prices won't go up as much. Then at that point it will be very profitable, and also the interest rates will start coming down, which will help to increase the ROI and the investment too, right?
100%. I think like interest
So in
rate.
today's market,
Yeah.
in today's you say don't build,
Yeah.
but how about, would you say the same thing like 3 years ago?
No, because rates were quite lower than what
So
they
you think
are
we're
like
going to
now.
go back to that, or
I-
what's your forecast on the rates and all of that?
I think what we've seen in COVID, what happened during COVID, the rates were very, very low, right? It was not common to be that low. But before COVID, the past 10 or 11 years that I've been in this city, and past 14 years that I've been in this country, the rates were fairly between the 2.5 to 4% range, I'm talking about 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5-year fixed, whatever. But then COVID happened. They brought it down. At one point, we had 0.99%. If you remember, HSBC had the big sign, high ratio mortgages, which are mortgages less than 20%.
But that was just due to pandemic.
Yes, true. But we will go back, hopefully, to the time before the pandemic and see the rates hover around 3 to 4%. That's what I think is a good balanced rate, I would say, not balanced market.
I think we might even go back to a little lower than what it was before, because of the interest rates being so high right now. The government is trying to control the inflation.
True.
And I think when the inflation will start diving down, it's not like it's going to slowly go down and stop at where it was before. I think because the interest rates are very high, the inflation is going to go below what it was before, and then it will readjust. So for that time that the inflation will go below what it was before pandemic, I think for that period of time, we're going to see a lower interest rate again for the economy to start,
Yeah.
getting busier, and then I think we will just have a little increase. I think we will just gonna have decrease in the interest rates, and then we're going to have a little increase at the end when the inflation is like below the certain level.
True. I mean, there are different type of theories here, right? One theory is, as you said it, right? The inflation rate might go lower than what they are expecting it. Then they have to readjust the rates to bring the inflation back in line, I guess. But what the Bank of Canada is looking for is a 2% target inflation rate, right? So once they reach that, they have done their job.
What is it right now?
So last month was 4.3, but this month it went a little bit higher. So it came around 4.4.
But the inflation basket keeps getting changed.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
So by removing one item from the basket, you can change the inflation. So how do you even calculate the inflation? Because what is today might be different than a month from now, and what it was a few weeks from today.
I mean, how they basically measure this inflation rate, no one knows, to be honest, right? Because you live in this city, I live in this city. Nothing has gone down, right? 4.4%. I don't think that's true. You know, construction costs alone have gone up around 15-20%, right? But if the inflation basket, right, that you're talking about, I think it consists of transportation, shelter costs, food, clothing, and I think that's about it, if I'm not mistaken. But they have about 60 different items in there. And they just do a Canada-wide kind of statistics, kind of averages it out. I guess maybe here is more expensive than, let's say, Halifax, of course.
That's right.
But
so the inflation rate is Canada-wide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the U.S. has its own inflation rate and Canada has its own.
Yeah.
Did U.S. also go up?
U.S., I think, no, I think it came down last month.
The U.S. came down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do you think Canada would go up?
No, it went up. Today, the statistics came out.
I know, but if the U.S. went down, then why do you think Canada went up?
I mean...
Because Canada always follows U.S.
True.
Whatever is happening there, it happens like 2 months after it happens in Canada. Even the interest rates for the banks, right?
Yeah.
Whatever U.S. banks do, Canadian banks follow too.
Yeah, true. So U.S. banks in the last Federal Reserve meeting, they increased it by 25 bips.
Yes.
But Canada has been holding it steady.
Yes, exactly.
For the past 3 times that I've met. Next time that they are meeting is June, right? So we have to wait and see, basically.
What do you think is going to happen in June? What is your forecast?
I think
I love asking these type of questions because, you know, when it actually happens, we'll come back with like, you know, Shahriar said it right.
So I think given the current circumstances where the market is going, since the market is getting more and more active, I think there might be a 25 bips increase next upcoming meeting, and then they're probably gonna leave it for the couple next meetings until end of the year, maybe end of the year if everything goes as they're expecting it to go, then they'll bring it down maybe 25 bips or half a point this year.
So you're thinking at the beginning of first quarter of 2024 is when we're going to see the rates drop.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Or best case scenario, last meeting December, I think December 6th is their last meeting.
Okay.
Bank of Canada's last meeting. Maybe at that time they decrease it 25 bips.
Okay.
But
I guess we just have to wait and see because no one really has a crystal ball and we don't know what's going to happen. So you see the real estate market has also picked up, right? Is that the inflation is the same now almost, and the interest rates have been the same. Why do you think the real estate market has picked up from a mortgage point of view?
So I'll give you an economical point of view first, because everything in life, prices, I mean, is based on supply and demand. That's the first law of economics. So what happened last year was that 1 million people came here according to the statistics that the Canada Statistics has basically released, right? So I think given that the supply has been the same, even lower than it has been, right? And the demand has been going higher and higher because more and more people are trying to get to Canada, especially Vancouver, right?
Yes.
So once the demand is high, right, the supply stays the same. So there's upward pressure on prices, right?
That's right.
So inflation rates, all of that are secondary. When people need a place to live, you know.
So they don't care about the rates and the prices and just want to buy.
They just want to buy.
There's so many buyers in the market right now.
Yeah.
It's not normal. We are listing homes and we're selling them over the asking price in multiple offers in a very short time. And it reminds me of 2021 when the interest rates were at like 1%.
Yeah.
And I wonder what is going to happen to the market when the demand is this high already, with the interest rates being so high, when they start decreasing the interest rate.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen at that time in the market?
That's a tough question though, because nobody, as you said, it has a crystal ball, right? But the factors that are leading the prices of real estate are pointing towards an increase. Why? Because land cannot produce, right? We are a limited amount of land. We are restricted by mountains on the north, by sea all around Vancouver. So there's not much land. They have increased some of the zoning of the houses to allow coach houses for all type of properties right now all across BC.
But that's going to take some time to...
Exactly.
Even if someone wants to build a coach house, it's going to take another 4 or 5 months for the permits to be issued, and then another 7-8 months for the building to be built. So we're looking at another year and a half. So I think for the next 6 months, the next 12 months, that's where my question is. Like, when I think the market is going to be very, very hot. We might see, in my opinion, we might see an increase of 25 to 30% in prices.
I mean, it's like what Bank of Canada has done with the rate increases, right? Trying to control inflation is like putting a lot of pressure on a spring, right? So this is a lot of pressure on a spring. Anytime they start decreasing the rate, this hand that's pressing down the spring will a little bit loosen up. So if they decrease the rates too fast, basically the spring will go up. Even if they do it slowly, right, there is no soft landing. The prices are meant to go up. Why? Because there's more and more people
absolutely,
immigrating.
the prices will go up, but in periods of time, we see the prices go up so much more. For example, in 2021, in the first half of 2021, we saw the increase of 20% in prices. 10% in prices. The second half of 2021, we saw a 20% increase in prices. And then in 2022, the first quarter, we saw increase in the first 2 and 3 months, and then we saw a decrease after that, right? What I'm saying is that real estate is about timing. When you know when to get into the market, you can just get in and out of the market and then make the profit that somebody could make or would make if they stayed in the market for 3 to 4 years. So that's why sometimes you see some people say, oh, I just bought this home 6 months ago and I sold it for double than what I bought, or 30% more than what I bought, right? And that's just because of that sweet timing. And I think that timing, what I'm trying to get to is that the timing that we're going to see the highest jump in the real estate in the next year or so, I think, in my opinion, is going to be the first and second quarter of 2024, before the housing supply will almost come and fit the demand by adding all the secondary homes or new buildings that are getting finished. But I think we're going to have a 6 months time that the prices of homes are just going to jump so much. So if someone, I think, gets into the market right now, or like 2 or 3 months from now, if they can negotiate a good deal, which is kind of impossible right now with the market, but if they could, or if they have a pre-sale that gets ready in the first quarter of 2024, or if they have a pre-sale that allows for assignment and they could sell it in the first quarter of 2024 or the first 3 months of 2024, I think that's the best time to get out of the market. Because then after that, you're probably going to see a slowdown, and so that's my timing. Do you agree to that timing?
I think the first quarter, second quarter, I think the time that Bank of Canada comes up with this headline, inflation has been controlled, rates are going down. that we have a 3 to
You're
6.
You're not gonna have a title like that. Interests
Okay.
are going down. Just go and buy homes.
No,
now.
no, not that. They say inflation is controlled.
It's being controlled.
No more rate hikes or rate reductions to be followed. Something like that. That the inflation has been controlled. That the Bank of Canada has been doing their job right, and they're gonna bring the rates down, coming the next couple of meetings, right? So something like that will just add fuel to the fire right now.
Yeah.
And for the first 3 to 6 months, as you said it will explode. So as I said, I think first quarter of 2024 is the time that Bank of Canada will decrease rates. And when they start decreasing rate, the buyers that are on the market right now and are a little bit hesitant, they're like, okay, the rates are coming down, I gotta get it, because once the rates gonna come down further, the prices are gonna go higher, right?
That's right.
And then you have an influx of, 2 times or 3 times, because right now, as you said, there are a lot of buyers, but some buyers are still hesitant. All those buyers that are hesitant with the influx of new immigrants will add up to that demand.
That's right.
And it will probably explode for the 5, 6, 7 months after that news comes out, or after that Bank of Canada says that everything is on the right track. Then 6 months, 7 months is a good estimate, maybe longer, right? Because 2025, right? By end of 2025, the current Canadian government has promised to bring in about, 2 or 3 million more immigrants. And that's a very big and heavy toll on the housing supply right now. Because we already have a problem with it.
Yes.
Imagine 2 or 3 million more people coming here, right?
That's right. That's right. Besides that, what made you get into the mortgage industry?
So I have a background in engineering. I went to UBC. I got my master's of engineering in UBC. In 2014 is when we met, right? I started my first real estate investment, that I got a property and basically flipped it. And then, as you remember, we saw the rate of the rate that the real estate realtor charged. The mortgage broker made some money. Of course, I as an investor made some money too, but I saw that there's a lot of money that we basically lose because of the transactional fees. And I was always good at numbers, so I said, what can I do that is relevant to real estate and involves numbers? So that's why I went with mortgages.
That's right. So you just got into mortgages to be able to save on some of the costs that you were paying as an investor when you were flipping properties, but then you liked it and then you just continue doing it. Is it a tough industry to be in?
So before 2018, when the stress test was introduced, it was very much easier, right? You could have somebody that has a little bit of income, has some savings, has some assets, and the bank wouldn't ask much questions, right? But right now, when the stress test was introduced in 2018, right, and everything is now basically income dependent, there are a few high net worth programs with different banks and institutions, but it's very still hard to get qualified. So what has happened is that for a mortgage broker to be able to get a lot of lending, right? If a person is qualified, people don't like to talk about it in the mortgage industry, but they walk to the banks and they shop around for the lowest rates, and usually you don't get those good qualified clients. The people that will come to a mortgage broker is the ones that have been denied by these major institutions and need help. Usually.
And that's a bad thing, right? Because people don't really know the difference of working with a mortgage broker and a bank. Mortgage brokers actually do have access to all the banks and lender A's and B's and C's.
Exactly.
And it's better to work with a mortgage broker because you're hiring someone to be on your side to go and fight for the best rate for you. But when you're walking into a bank and you ask them to help you with the mortgage, they only try to sell you the products that they have, and maybe another bank offers you a better rate with a better product, and they're not going to come and tell you, no, go to this other bank, it works better for your program or your situation of life, because the situation of everyone is very unique.
Yes,
and
exactly.
and that's the one of the skills that you as a mortgage broker should have, to understand everyone's financials and situation, and see what program works the best for them, and introduce them to that program, right?
Yeah.
I have had an amazing experience myself working with mortgage brokers, because they always go and try to find for the best rate for me, and even talk to people at the bank and see which bank offers a better program for my case. And I highly recommend it myself. And also, people don't pay for mortgage brokers.
No, they
Banks
don't.
pay.
Yes.
Right?
Usually mortgage brokers get paid by the banks, right? So we have different lenders, as you said. So A lenders is your typical Scotia, BMO, TD, RBC. All these 5-6 big banks are your A lenders. As the name suggests, A lenders are A qualified A clients, right?
Oh, so it's based on the client's status.
Exactly, and the rate. It's an A rate, right? A B lender, as you can basically understand, is a B rate, meaning the rate is a little bit slightly higher than an A rate. It's not the end of the world. Let's say right now the best A rate for a 2-year fix is 5.8, 5.6, right? With a B lender would be around 6.3, 6.4-ish, right? Not a big difference, right?
Difference, yes.
But they still have a lender's fee of around 1% that gets split between the lender and the broker, right? And the B lenders are called alternative lenders, right? The ones that really don't need anything from you are called C lenders. I've used it. I'm sure you have used it. Sometimes that's the only basically way to get the money you want, because about C lenders, let's say you bought a pre-sale, right, 3 years ago.
Yes.
And the banks, A lenders and B lenders, won't give you the amount of money you need because the property you bought has gone up, let's say 200,000 in equity.
Yes.
But if you go with a C lender, you could get, let's say you put 10% down and you say, Shahriar, I don't have any more money. Can I borrow it and put the rest 10% down, 20%, and go ahead with this purchase? Otherwise I can't afford it. I say, yeah, you
so
can.
for special occasions and cases, it's the better even to go with lender C.
Yeah.
But the thing that I don't like about C lenders is that the payment is an interest only payment.
Yes.
So no matter how much of a payment, how long of payments you make, your mortgage still stays the same.
100%.
And the fees are a lot higher.
Yes.
If it's from the broker fee, if it's from the lender fee,
Yeah.
if it's from even the lawyer fees.
fee.
Everything is a lot higher. So they know your case is very special and you need them.
Yeah.
So I think they try to take as much profit they can from you. But it works in some cases. I've had okay experience with it, and it has worked for me.
Yeah, I mean, C lenders, right, is the last choice, of course, for anybody. As you said, there are a lot of fees associated with it. But remember, private lenders always ask for an exit strategy, right? They say, what's the client exit strategy? So we say, okay, he wants to close it, right, and sell it, or close it, rent it. When the market is better, sell it or refinance it. So it's a solution. Short-term temporary solution. It's a short-term solution, right? Yes. But C lenders, right, sometimes you need them. As you said it, nobody likes them, right? Because their charges are high. Their interest rate is twice as much of an A lender. But most of the times people who get this type of lending, they are in need of it.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So your recommendation is lender A, and then a B, and then C.
Of course.
And between all the banks that you've worked with, which bank has the best rate right now?
You're looking for a fixed rate?
2 years fixed.
2 years fixed. So 2-year fixed right now, TD is the best, right? TD is always very competitive when it comes to rate, right? Scotia has provided a 3-week limited.
Well, which one is the best right now?
The best.
If you choose one bank.
For 2 years fixed, I would say TD.
TD.
Yeah.
And then for people that have their mortgages right now, and do you think they should fix the rate right now, or should they keep it as variable, or what is your recommendation on that?
I think if people are okay with the variable rate and they are okay with fluctuations, variable rate is a good option. However, the rates right now might go a little bit higher, maybe 25 bips, half a point. And if they're okay with that, then they should go with the variable. But I find it's better right now to go with a 1 year or 2 year fixed, right?
Oh, we have 1 year fixed as well?
We have 1 year fixed as well, but not all the banks provide that, right? So for example, HSBC doesn't provide a 2 year fix or 1 year fix, right? But if you can get a 1 year fix, right now we are in May, next May, probably the rates are hopefully better. But the May after, definitely the rates are going to be better because the target inflation rate set by the Bank of Canada is supposed to be reached by end of 2024. That's why they are increasing the rates, trying to control it to get to that target inflation rate by end of 2024. Meaning that by the beginning of 2025, the rates have hopefully come down to the normal.
But it's going to take some time for the rates to come down. It's not like a 1 day drop, right?
No. So
it'll take 6 to 8 months probably.
Yes. So let's say they start bringing the rates down in 2024, beginning of it. So they start with a 25 bips, then they do maybe a half a bip, half a point, then 75. They go slowly. Maybe by end of 2024, the prime rate should be maybe around 5.23. So mid 2025, I would say, is got good time to get at the best rate.
Got it. So what advice do you have to give to mortgage brokers that are people that are looking to get into a mortgage broker industry, or mortgage brokers that are trying to expand their business?
So if you want to become a mortgage broker, right, it's becoming tougher and tougher, right? And we don't get paid as much, right? Meaning that if I choose a 2 year fix, right now banks only pay you half a point. When it comes to real estate, they pay you almost twice as much, right?
Yes.
But if you like numbers, if you are okay with giving good customer service, because I have clients calling me at 8 at night, want to meet during Saturdays, Sundays, because they're working during the week, right? If you like numbers, if you're good as customer service, and if you're looking to basically earn commission while providing mortgage services, definitely it's a good industry, right, to get into. But you have to make sure that you just don't enter for the money of it, right?
Yes.
Because there has to be some.
I don't think you should enter in anything in life just for the money of it.
Well, a lot of people do it, right? A lot of people see, okay, this mortgage broker made X amount last year. They see the flash, they see all those videos, they see the Rolex watches, and they say, oh yeah, I can make it happen too for myself. But it's a lot of stress because a lot of clients think that you are in charge of the lending, but we are just the middleman, right? The lender can revoke any type of offer if anything happens to your credit score. If anything happens to your credit report, they can revoke it, right? So we are the middleman and we get blamed by the clients a lot. So you have to be able to absorb a lot of comments and try to basically answer them and calm the clients down to basically be able to make it in this industry. As your second question, how can they expand? I am a firm believer of social media marketing, right? The more you're out there, the more you explain about different products of lenders. I find it that mortgage brokers don't explain to their clients much what's going to happen.
Kind of boring if you just like make social media videos and just explain the different programs of the mortgage?
Not different program. Just focus on one program. For example, there is right now something going on with private lenders that they provide you with a line of credit, like a bank. But they have, of course, higher rates and they have an initial fee. But imagine you are an old person, you have a free title, but you want to give some money away to your children. That might be not a bad option for you, right? Or you want to invest and they give you up to 65% of that value to you as a line of credit. So whenever you
How do you do that? How do they do that?
They have some programs. They have an open line of credit.
But then they issue a card?
No. They give you basically an account and you have to tell them 48 to 72 hours before, hey, I need money, and they have your void check.
Wow.
And then you basically they charge you anywhere from $50 to $100 per draw, and then you can draw as much as you need and pay the interest only on the portion that you use.
Wow.
Some selective programs that people don't talk about it. I think if you talk about it on social media, on videos, people will reach out to you actually, you know?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't know. I'm actually interested in this program.
Yeah, it's a good program.
Besides that, what do you like to do on your free time?
On my free
Besides
time, on my
I know
free
you're
time,
working
I
24/7.
work a lot, yeah. But on my free time, now that the weather is good, I like rollerblading, you know. And
So if you end up going on the Stanley Park, we'll see you one day.
yeah, you probably will see me. Yeah. I
Will
like
you answer
swimming.
my mortgage questions?
Sure. We can go for a rollerblading and mortgage question session with each other. I like rollerblading. I like going swimming. The gym I like, you know. I went to F45. You know, I like F45 classes, short classes that are, you know, on
Intense.
time,
Yeah.
intense, and then you get over with it. Hiking, I don't mind. You know, I'm not a big hiker, let's say, but I like going hiking.
You just like the vibe of it, right? Like
Yeah.
seeing the view and just walking, fresh air.
Exactly. And lakes, I love going to lakes, you know, I love swimming. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming here today. You really taught me a lot of things. I didn't know about some of these programs, and I know you're a very busy man, but I appreciate you coming on here. If you guys have any questions, I'll leave Shahriar's information. Reach out to him. He's great, and I highly recommend him.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks.